green and eggs and all that stuff. That's fun. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to do a 1940s tutorial on my makeup and my hair. It's a really quick tutorial. It's really fast. It may not be absolutely perfect and absolutely historically correct, but I'm going to show you a quick way that you can do it. You can curl your hair backwards or forwards. I did mine backwards, and then I just did one big curl on top and just pin that with some clips, okay? Let that set. I've done half of my face, and if you see any fallout, that's because my lovely babies, they wanted to help mommy. If you see me looking down, I'm going to be looking at my mirror. This is all new to me. And I have a GoPro now. So I'm so excited about that. My lovely hubby got me a GoPro for Mother's Day. Woo woo. Shout out to him. Best husband in the world. Even when he doesn't buy me stuff, he's still the best husband in the world. So I love you, baby. So anyway, I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to show you a little quick thing I do. So I let this set, right? And no big deal. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our top out and we're just going to fluff our hair. You can brush your hair if you want. I just kind of fluff it out. I might actually brush it. I don't know yet. So that's all we do right there. Really simple. Okay, so I feel like brushing it. I'm going to brush it. While I'm doing this today, I am also going to be talking about Mother-in-Law from Hell Part 2. I'm going to share with you my real experience with my own mother-in-law, my own family drama, and all the bullshit that went on there 100 years ago. Okay, so just brush it out gently with your paddle brush. Now you'll see a lot of tutorials, they tease their hair. I'm not going to tease my hair on this one. This one is a quick one. Like you want to look cutesy, pin up 40s and out the door. So that's it. So I just make sure that it's smoothed and it's perfect. If you hear some background noise, that's my babies. They're a little bit loud. I have no idea where they get it from. So I take my part right here, pretty much halfway up my eyebrow. If you go halfway up your eyebrow, that's pretty much where I take my part. So I just part it with my finger. Remember, this is a fast one, guys. This is not take your time and, you know, whatever. This is a quick pinup. Okay, so I meet my husband. We fall in love. Everything's going great. Wants to take me to meet his family. His mom lived in Texas. So on spring break, we come to Texas. And we meet her. I meet her for the very first time. And everything's going great. And I like her and she likes me. She's super, super happy that her son has met me. And I'm super happy I met him. And life is good. So then we go to see some historical sites on the coast. And my husband is playing with his children at the time because if you've followed my stuff, he had 2 grown children he had custody of when I met him. And then he got full custody when I came along because I said, this shit's got to stop. You got to take full custody. So he did. And his mom sat me down and said what a great mother she was to these kids and all this. And now I had never heard any of that. I had heard of her trying to kill herself in front of her babies and horrible things or supposedly trying to, mostly just hurt herself, missed a lot of major organs. So I was a little perplexed and I went to my husband and I said, hey, who was, just my boyfriend at the time. I said, what's going on here? He said, well, I don't know what that story is, but that's not the truth. So I thought, that's kind of weird. So then we go back and we get engaged. Go back home, get engaged. Everything's going great. She calls me all the time. Hey, how's it going? Good. Everything was good. I also come from a family where it's half Italian and you sweep all your bullshit under the rug and you don't tell anybody what's going on or how you truly feel. You just sweep it under the rug and one day you die. You take them with you to the grave. So I wasn't really expressive about my feelings. I never really let people in. I had a wall up and I was a poser and I would tell them how great everything was. So I would just tell her everything's great. It was difficult. I was a full-time teacher at the time and my husband was working and we had these 2 kids and they weren't my babies. And it wasn't automatic love. And everybody thinks when you meet somebody for the first time and you fall in love and they have kids and you meet them for the first time that you're going to have love at first sight. And that's not the way it was. They weren't my babies and I wasn't mommy. Now, they were respectful. They never told me to F off. You're not my mom. I was blessed. But it wasn't the love that you think, like the movies, right? Where after 2 hours, everyone's kumbaya. It was difficult. It was tough. I still wasn't their mother. And I was jealous because I wanted to be mommy and I wasn't. So, a little bit of time goes by. Now, I'm going to take this part right here. Take about this much hair. Right here. And I'm going to twist it backwards. And I'm going to push it up. Instant vintage right there. It is not hard. It looks hard. It looks difficult. They make everything look difficult, right? In the movies, you think, I'll never be able to get my hair like that. I literally took my hair and just did that. It doesn't matter if you have thin hair or thick hair. That's it. So I start pinning. Take my bobby pins. There's all different schools of thought on pinning. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just shoving them in there and I want my hair to stay back. I want it to stay in this right here, this design. Even if you have thin hair, you can still push your hair forward and you can still make it push out like that. You are the one in control. Remember that. You're in control of the makeup and you're in control of the hair, not the other way around. So she's calling me all the time and she's saying, well, what's going on? Nothing. How's everything going? Great. Planning the wedding, doing the do, you know. Now I'm going to spray, cover my earring because I don't want it to get in my earring. And I'm going to kind of mold this a little bit so it just kind of sticks like that. Okay? All right. Cool. Done. This side's done. So she gets on the phone and she starts talking to my fiance. Every time I call her, everything's fine. He said everything is fine. She's like, well, what's going on? He's like, nothing's going on. Everything's fine. We're planning the wedding. Which it was. Yeah, there was some bullshit with the, almost had a nip slip. There was some bullshit with the wife going on, the ex-wife, but nothing that we couldn't get over, right? I mean, there's nothing earth-shattering happening. Nothing going on in my family. So, you're going to kind of part that right there, up, straight up from the ear, okay? And then you're going to take this and kind of twist it, and you're going to push it up. Look at that. Now, does that look hard? Literally, let's do this again. Take the hair. Twist it and push it. That's it. Get the hair on the side. It's kind of back from the crown right there. You're going to get that hair right there. You're going to twist it. Super simple, guys. I told you, as simple as pie. Twist it, and bam. So I'm going to actually redo this right here because my finger wasn't in the right place. And bam. Look at that. Okay? And then you're going to mold it whichever direction you want to go. Take your bobby pins again. Like I said, I don't really care how you use them, what you do with them. I don't know. There's all these different, flip them upside down, throw them on their side. I have no idea. All I know is I'm putting my bobby pins right on that secure part right there that I want secured. Okay? This part, kind of smoosh this down because you want to see the definition between where you pushed it forward and where you are pushing it down. You want to see that where the rest of the hair is. You want to kind of have a distinct difference between it. Okay? So, that's it. Take your spray, push it on there. So, she's pissed off because every time she calls me, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm not letting you in because I don't really know you, but I'm talking about like with my mother-in-law, but really nothing was going on. And if you can see up here, guys, look at that. It's like a beautiful little wave up there. Beautiful, beautiful. Make a distinction here between both sides because you want to make sure this is over here. Okay? Hair's done. Bam. Vintage 40s hair done. I mean, you can't get any easier than that, right? I mean, for real. It's crazy how easy it is. Yes, you can do barrel rolls and all that. Today, I'm not doing barrel rolls. I'm going to show you that. Quick, fast, vintage, okay? So, on an eyebrow, when you do it 40 style, it's not arched. It's not super arched and it's not super angular. It's like a smooth, nice, just shoo, kind of like a relaxed C on your eyebrow. So that's all you do. You do that. That's what I did. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Sister-in-law was one of my best friends. And she was going through a divorce. And I was going over one night to my husband's fiance's house or boyfriend. We maybe weren't even engaged at the time. Boyfriend's house. And his brother was going to be there. And I didn't want to go alone. I'm like, I don't want to go and hang out with the guys by myself. That's boring. Who wants to do that? So I said, come with me. And she was like, no, I'm tired. I said, no, come with me. Come on. I don't want to go by myself and hang out all night. It'll be fun. We'll hang out. We'll have some wine, beer, whatever. Chill, mess around, you know, sit outside. It's a nice night. Okay. So she comes over. Long story short, next thing I know, my soon-to-be brother-in-law and one of my best friends was getting married. They got married. So I'm ecstatic because I'm thinking, this is amazing. I get to have one of my best friends as my sister-in-law. This is awesome. Shh, guys. They weren't super pronounced. They were not thick like they are now, and they weren't pencil thin, right? It's not the 20s. It's the 40s. So it's like a natural, beautiful glam, but bold. Okay. Now on to the eyeshadow. So we introduced them. They ended up getting married. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, then I noticed that things were going south really quickly because all of a sudden there was strife, where there was never strife between the brothers ever. And I knew something was wrong. And I said, something's going on with my sister-in-law. As we're playing the wedding, she's getting more and more tense, and she's really upset with me. Okay, I'm going to pop a light color on, guys. They did not use a ton of makeup back in the 40s. They didn't do it. And then get that brow bone. And then I'm going to take some pink. Any pink will do. And pop that onto my lid. Okay? Super fast. Remember what I told you. So she's upset because they can't walk down the aisle together. Her and my soon-to-be brother-in-law can't walk down the aisle together. Well, my sister-in-law is upset and thinks I'm trying to keep her away from her husband. I said, I'm not trying to keep you from him. You don't walk down the aisle with him. The best man and the maid of honor walk down the aisle together. Not a bridesmaid and the best man. So she was pissed. She was pissed about everything. She said I was a bridezilla. I let my girls pick out anything they wanted. They could do whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. I said, as long as it's in the red category, y'all pick out whatever design, whatever you want. I wasn't one of those brides that was like, I've got to look better than everybody. I don't give a rip. I knew I looked good. Okay, we had a little glitch there. My GoPro apparently with the SIM card or whatever was full, so I'll just keep going. So I noticed that there was definitely a rift in the relationship with the boys, and it got worse and worse and worse until she pushed and pushed and pushed, and my husband and my husband and his brother didn't talk for over a decade because of it. So my mother-in-law's in the mix of all this, and she's putting in her 2 cents, and nobody asked her, and so it became a real fiasco. And then I said, okay, enough's enough. And then she calls and says she wants to come stay with us for 3 weeks. 3 weeks she wanted to come stay with us. I told my husband, I said, 3 weeks is a little excessive. Ooh, this is pretty. Focus. Compliments of my bestie, by the way. She's amazing. She has great taste. I said, no, she cannot come and stay with us for 3 weeks. Are you insane? Well, looking back now in hindsight, right? I probably should have just let her come. But there comes a time where you have to put your foot down because there was so much strife and so much horrible things going on in the family. I said, you know what? I don't think it's a good idea right now. I wasn't in the mood. I was really hurt that I had been thrown under the bus. I was really hurt that these 2 brothers who were super close were no longer close. It was a mess. So he tells his mother-in-law, his mother, sorry, it's a champagne color I'm putting in my water line. She can't come for 3 weeks. Well, she has a fit. She freaks out. Looking back, I probably could have been a little more lenient with that. But here's this dynamic going on. If you've watched my other TikToks or YouTubes or whatever. when you have a situation where you've got this mother-in-law trying to be in charge and the sister-in-law butts in and tries to ruin a family, and then I'm there trying to get, you know, the attention that I think I deserve and have my say be out there. It was a hot ass mess, okay? So years go by and I decide that maybe we should try to make a truce with his mom. I felt really bad for my husband because remember, the boys end up hurting the most. We don't hurt because we don't have to be around him. But the sons, they hurt because they're not able to be around him. Take my eyeliner pen and I'm just going to do a little eyeliner on the edge. That's my line. That's my outline. So I can go back with my liquid liner. Liquid liner I have here is Revlon Blackest Black. Liquid Eye Pen Ultra Classic. Revlon Color Stay Sharp line. That's to go back over the line to make it sharper because I don't want to start with the liquid. I would rather start with an outline to help me. 10 or so years go by. She doesn't have contact with her grandchildren because she's so bitter and so upset about everything that happened. So she, by the way, she did come and stay with us. And when she stayed with us, she was cleaning up my kitchen, which says, you're dirty. She was fixing the dog bowls, which says, you're a bad pet mom. She was getting something for our oldest son, and which is saying you're a bad mother, period. And so this was a nightmare when she came to visit. And he told her, it's not a good time with everything going on right now. She wanted to come anyway and flex her muscle, and we did let her come and stay with us, of course, just not for 3 weeks. Okay, so you're going to get that line out there. Okay, not a lot. Blush, not a lot of blush. This is just a red blush. You see that? That's it. On your apples or your cheeks. Okay? They didn't have a lot of cakey stuff going on. Another one. They didn't have a lot of color going on. They just had that pretty, nice glow. Same thing on this side. You do want to bring it a little bit up on your forehead and a little bit on your temples to kind of bring it together because you want to make sure. But they had beautiful rosy cheeks. A little bit there, maybe a little on the nose and a little on the chin. Okay? Wasn't sculpted and highlighted like we do today. And those cheeks really popped in the 40s. But not too dark, right? Because they weren't all into the dark stuff. Now we're going to do lashes. I'm going to curl them first. You know how I am before I do my lashes. I always curl them before you put on fake ones. Or you do mascara regularly. You just want to have your... Guys, you want your lashes curled. Then you want to put a little swipe of mascara just so they'll stick it up a little bit so they meet the other lashes and then you don't have this gap between your lash and the fake lash. Okay. Now you're going to take your lashes. This is Too Faced. Love these. This is Too Faced Natural Flirt. That's the style of these. They're really pretty. They're not too full. They didn't have big, full, glamorous, showgirl looking lashes in the 40s. That's not what the 40s were about. So just take a nice lash. I've showed you this before many times. Put your glue on it. I use the white glue. I don't use black glue. It dries completely clear. You can't see it. There's no white going to show up on your lashes. I take my tweezers, okay, and I just pop them on. Remember, they didn't have dreamy dreamboat eyes in the 40s. They didn't have Marilyn Monroe, come sex me up. They weren't showgirl. They weren't going out. They weren't full glam. They were just a nice, traditional, cool looking lash. Seems real simple on lashes, but like I've said before, lashes are hard. They take a little bit of practice. In fact, they take a lot of practice. Okay, so just a pretty soft looking lash. You don't want the big, huge, massive snuffleupagus lashes for this. That's not what the 40s were. My mother-in-law decided she was going to harbor all this. Despite our apology, because I knew that was the right thing to do. Sometimes you need to apologize, even when it's not your fault. I know, I can feel it and hear it already. I get it. But it wasn't worth it anymore. I wanted my husband to have a relationship with her. So with some boundaries, I said, you know what? Maybe we should contact her and invite her up. And so after a while, you know, she wouldn't say my name for years when they would talk once in a blue moon. And then she finally was saying my name. And then he's like, hey, maybe you should come up for a visit. And by then, our children were pretty much grown. And she came up for a visit, and I thought all was well. We went to eat a couple times and hang out, and she hung out with our, the kids, and just thought, okay, this is a new beginning. So she leaves and she goes back home, and we don't hear from her again. She's like ghosted us. So we don't know what's going on. We had a lovely time. There was no arguing. She stayed in a hotel. That was probably because she had her feelings hurt, and she didn't want to go through that again. So that's fine. That works. Go ahead, stay at a hotel. So she stays in the hotel and goes home, nothing. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't know either, and he doesn't ask, because my husband's the type of man, and I do not say man loosely. I say man because he is a real man. As a real man, he wasn't going to get into it with her. If she wants to get over that and move forward, great. And if not, and she wants to pout, fine. She's not going to go and, he's not going to give in and bow to her and take abuse because it's mommy. It takes a lot of guts for my husband to back off and say, this is on you, Mom, not me. We've apologized. And we sat her down when she came over to my home and sat in my living room when she came to visit. And I said, I'm sorry that we treated you the way we did and that you weren't allowed to stay with us longer. It was a horrible time. And first of all, 3 weeks is fucking ridiculous for a mother-in-law to stay with you. I'm sorry. Like, unless you just had triplets, 1 week per child, maybe. But come on now. 3 weeks? No. And we start having babies, and we are new parents again, and she wants to come and visit. Okay, side note. I was watching a vintage tutorial a couple months ago, and this is Daphne Beauty. Daphne. I am not endorsed by anyone, by the way. Nobody. It's a lip pencil that they swear is like its own lip liner built in because the point is so strong and it's so sharp. All I did was take it in my red lipstick. Take any red lipstick you want. Okay, you want 40s? This is it. It's just a red lip. Now, you could, of course, make this peach and do a peachy tone if you want to mix it up with something you're wearing. But for just a straight 40s, this is it. So I'm testing this for the first time on air to see if it really does work and you don't need a lip liner when you do this, because I've never done a vintage look without a lip liner. So, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. That is way more precise, by the way, than a lip liner. You really want to focus on your Cupid's bow when you're doing 40s. They had Cupid doll lips. So we have babies. She wants to come visit us, stay with us. Great. She comes. She helps out. She's amazing. I would wake up and she would say, everything's already done. I thought, wow, this is really nice to have her. And I told her, I said, you can come back anytime. The help has been so great. You have no clue how great it's been. Guys, this liner brush, oh my gosh. This is incredible. By the way, the red I'm using is $8.95 On Fire Red by Maybelline. So this is the Daphne Precision Brush. It's dual tipped. I'll show you the other side in a minute. Great too if you want to do a fake mole. This is perfect. It's a perfect tip, guys, for fake moles. Okay, so keep it all. So you want to keep it really up and down. Okay. Now the bottom, we're not going to overline it or anything like that. This is not modern day. This is the 1940s. Stay right on your line. We have a lovely time, a lovely visit. She goes to lunch with our oldest daughter and talks shit about me. Our daughter came home. She was so upset. I said, what's wrong? She said, I'm livid. I don't ever want to see that woman ever again. I said, what happened? She said, basically, she referred to you as the current wife, basically, without saying that. I wasn't devastated. But I was a little shocked because we'd had such a nice trip. And what would make her think that my daughter wouldn't tell me what she said? Look at that, guys, it's retractable. So it goes right in there. And there's a little cover. See that little cover right there? Little plastic cover that goes, folds down. So cool. So, like I said, I'm not devastated or hurt, but I was a little bit shocked. Like, what? We had a really nice time. We had a really good trip. What's the deal? By the way, I was looking for the lid for this. There is none because it goes like that. So here's the other side. Regular lip brush. We'll see how that works. That was it. Didn't have much to say to her after that, which is now. Like, okay, well, guess you're still holding on. So the red lip really makes this vintage. This is what really makes it 1940s. I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Use whatever red complements your skin tone. Getting back to my sister-in-law and my brother-in-law, she had multiple affairs on my brother-in-law, which I did not wish upon him, and they've since divorced. My brother-in-law met a wonderful woman who we adore, and they got married last year. You know who you are, girl. And she's wonderful, and she's not a cheater, and she's not a homewrecker, and she's not a bitch. Well, we all have a little bitch in us, right? She's not mean-spirited. She's tough. She's not mean. And of course, I had to see my mother-in-law at the wedding last year, and I didn't have much to say. She's like, oh, you look so beautiful in this. And I'm like, okay, well, thanks. Peace out. Gotta get some water. Hydrate, people, hydrate. So there it is, y'all. It's really simple. Curl that hair, flip it, pin it, do your face. That's that. Now, do I want my husband to have a relationship with his mom? At this point, I don't give a shit. I don't care if he does or doesn't. Sorry, we've been married for 100 years. Whatever. If you want to, fine. If you don't, I don't care. I have no emotions in it anymore. It is what it is. Okay, she's also getting older and she's got some ailments and things, and I don't know how great her memory is. So, whatever, that's between her and God and my husband and her, and if they want a relationship, great. So anyway, I hope you like this vintage tutorial. My quick vintage. Not a lot of goo, not a lot of crap. No highlighter, no sculpting out, no nothing. Just some blush. Little tiny wing. Those red lips, that's where it's at. The hair, bam, easy peasy. And I'm going to show you my outfit afterwards and the finished product. Okay, guys, love you. Bye. Mwah. Okay, guys, so this is the finished look. My 1940s vintage look. This little sweater I got on Amazon. It's adorable. I love the little piping and the detailing on it. The sleeves. And I just have a little short on, little white short. And this I think was like 23 bucks on Amazon. So really simple, really cheap. And then I have some adorable little shoes on. Maybe I could be a contortionist. They're adorable and they remind me of the 40s. So they're so cute. I've had these guys forever and ever. And they had them in yellow and white polka dot when these came out. And I always think, I could just kick myself for not getting the yellow and white ones. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this look. And for all of you women out there that are having to deal, or men that are having to deal with shitty mother-in-laws, I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart. It's hard for them too, your spouse, whatever they're going through, because it's still their mommy. So I hope it works out for y'all. Just hold your ground and put measures in place to protect you and your family, and your husband has to know that you come first. Remember? It's you and then the kids and then mom. And when that happens, y'all will have a better marriage and a better relationship. So I also am praying that your husband has the strength to do that with his mom, because it's hard and it's still his mommy. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with Better with Netter. Okay, bye. Mwah. Hi guys, thank you all for tuning into my channel, Guide with Netter. I really appreciate all of you and love you. So please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and push that notification bell so you can be the first to know when I have a new post. And please press the like button. Thank you all so much for your love and support. Love you guys. Bye.